My dad taught me two things about money that I think were really important and ended up being a huge blessing. One, my dad always had a really healthy view on what money was. There was never like emotion tied to it. And so I never struggled with like feeling anxiety when I dealt with money. And two, he taught me about budgeting. Like even from a young age, I was in like 7th grade. And
we started giving him $100 a month when he was in junior high.
Oh yeah, that was our financial lesson.
Yeah, he had to, if he wanted new shoes, clothes, any kind of, entertainment, he had to pay for that.
So I told him about this whole thing, right? And I was like, really wanted to say yes. Like, what if you give me $100 a month and I have to pay for everything? And he goes, everything? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh yeah, we'll do that for sure. And I was like, why did he just say that so easy? And then I realized that like the first week all my money was gone. I was like, gosh, $100 doesn't really go that far.
Like my parents, they grew up through the Depression.
Yeah.
So my whole life I was pushed to, there's never enough. You better save, you better work hard, because things can turn for the worse and they can turn quickly. Michael, on the other hand, we didn't experience that growing up. I mean, there's always been an abundance of everything. Yeah, what we did is we got Mike set up with a financial advisor. Well, he was always pretty responsible, but I think it gave Mike a way of strategizing to come up with a plan and to stick to that plan and, make adjustments along the way according to how the plan was going.
Like I was the one who, out of my group, got sponsored and started making money. I felt like at a young age, I had this I call it clout or whatever. And I remember I had bought this house, I had owned it 2 years, and Randy, I was talking about my financial advisor, told me to sell my house. He's like, dude, sell it. You should rent. There's gonna be a correction. And I remember telling him no, I can't do that. What, I'm gonna tell my friends that I had to sell my house to rent? I thought it was they were gonna think I wasn't successful by doing that. And I wish I would have just told myself, don't worry about that noise. That is the worst thing. Just sell the house, humble yourself, buy an apartment, and then you're gonna buy a bigger house in 3 years. Yeah, get rid of an ego, I think would have been a big one for me. I think the American dream is really different for everyone, but at least how I thought it was when I was a kid, I would own my own home. I'd have a stable career for 30 plus years. I'd have a wife, 3 kids, a dog. That was what I thought the dream was. And I thought you just had to work your face off until 65 and then you got to enjoy actual life. And I think that's the biggest thing that changed for me is I don't want to wait till I'm 65. I think you can accomplish it way faster. There's just it's not the conventional way of doing it that maybe I was taught as a kid. So my whole vision for the last 15 years has been get to a point where I don't have to work. I can choose to work. We have a belief on what we deserve based on either our experience or what we saw our parents have or the way they talk to us. And so I think you can change that, but if that's what you were taught, it's going to take you a lot of work to be able to break through the 20 or 30 years of believing one thing. But I absolutely believe that we're our worst enemy. We can only have what we think is possible. And so wherever that limit or bar is that you put on yourself, that's as high as you get to go. And it's really all in your head. So I think it could be trained. I think it just takes hard work to tell yourself you've been lied to your whole life. Yeah, you could actually have whatever you want. You just need to get past this self-limiting belief that you can't have it. It's more how do I have it?